A pirate walks into a bar with a ship's wheel in his pants. The bartender says, "Hey, pirate, you know there's a wheel in your pants?" The pirate says, "Arr, it's driving me nuts." A duck walks into a bar and says, "Got any grapes?" Bartender says, "No." Duck comes back the next day. "Got any grapes?" Bartender says, "No" again. Third day, the bartender says, "If you ask again, I'll nail your beak to the bar." Next day, the duck walks in and asks, "Got any nails?" Bartender says, "No." Duck says, "Good. Got any grapes?" A guy walks into a bar with a slab of asphalt under his arm. He says, "A beer, please, and one for the road." A guy walks into a bar and orders 3 beers. The bartender asks why. The guy says, "One for me, one for my brother in Chicago, and one for my brother in Texas." This continues for many years, until one day he orders only 2. The bartender says, "Oh no, did one of your brothers pass away?" The guy says, "Nope, I quit drinking." A priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo." A guy walks into a bar with a dog. The bartender says, "No pets allowed." The guy says, "But this dog talks." Bartender says, "All right, prove it." Guy asks, "What's on top of a house?" Dog says, Bartender throws them out. Outside, the dog says, "Maybe I should have said roofing." A sandwich walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here." Have you heard about the dyslexic man who walks into a bra? A bear walks into a bar and says, "I'll have a beer." And a shot of whiskey. The bartender asks, "What's with the big paws?" The bear says, "I was born with them." A grasshopper walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Hey, we have a drink named after you." The grasshopper says, "You have a drink named Steve?" I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes, so she gave me a hug. Why don't programmers like nature? Because there are too many bugs. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Why did the math book look sad? Because it had too many problems. I started a procrastinators support group, but we haven't met yet. I stayed up all night wondering where the sun went. Then it dawned on me. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity, and it's impossible to put down. I bought my mother-in-law a chair, but she won't let me plug it in. Marriage is often compared to a deck of cards. In the beginning, 2 hearts and a diamond are needed. By the end, some might be looking for a club and a spade. I told my doctor that I broke my arm in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places. I was married by a judge. I should have asked for a jury. I haven't spoken to my wife in years. I didn't want to interrupt her. My wife wants to go to an expensive place for dinner. I took her to the gas station. My kids want a cat for Christmas. I normally cook a turkey, but whatever. The wife told her husband, "Let's go out and have fun tonight." The husband replied, "Okay, but if you get back before me, leave the light on." My friends say I drink too much brake fluid, but I can stop whenever I want. I run every day for 20 minutes. If I miss a day, I add 20 minutes to the next day. This has truly been a game changer. Tomorrow, I am supposed to run for 4 months. I finally stopped drinking for good. Now, I drink for evil. I didn't realize how bad my driving was until my GPS said, "In 400 feet, make a slight right turn, stop, and let him out." My doctor said, "Don't eat anything fatty." I said, "Like what? Potato chips?" He said, "No, I told you not to eat anything, fatty."